Welcome, everybody. I'm Joe Tarnowski with ECRM, and I want to thank you all for joining us. So during the pandemic, there was an unprecedented number of pet adoptions, and this led to a lot of opportunities for both retailers and suppliers of pet products. So my guest today is Dawn Vogelsang, the president of Hamaker Resource Group, and we're going to talk about some of these trends and opportunities in the pet segment. So Dawn, thanks for joining us. And before we get started, can you give a brief overview of Hamaker and how you work with brands and retailers?
Sure, thanks, Joe. So Hamacher Resource Group is a marketing and consulting firm. We work across the retail supply chain with everyone from manufacturers, retailers, distributors, data providers, technology companies, really anyone that touches that retail supply chain. And our goal is to improve results. And if we're doing our job well, everybody along that supply chain improves their results. So that's our goal.
Well, you have your work cut out for you with all the supply chain stuff that's going on these days, I tell you.
For sure. Luckily, we don't have to deal too much with shipping and freight and all of those things that are giving people fits these days.
Oh, glad to hear that. So, all right, so we'll get right into it. Start off, what are some of the prevalent trends that you're seeing in the pet segment?
Yeah, so it's fascinating, as you said, with so many new pet owners. I think it's a whole different category of ownership, and that desire to treat their pet as much like a member of the family as they possibly can is definitely something that we've been seeing. And so as a result of that, I think a lot of the supplements and things that we are starting to learn are good for us as humans are also making their way into pet industry. So in particular, lately, I've been hearing a lot more about fish oil, turmeric, as great things that can help your pet live a longer, healthier life. So those are a couple of the things that come to mind as trends that we're seeing.
You know, it's interesting you mentioned that. It's this whole humanization thing. It's just it's gone crazy. Like you said, the supplements, our pets are getting the same ailments that we're getting now. It's not just they're eating the same things, they're wearing the same things. And what's ironic is during the pandemic, everybody got pets to kind of like help them cope with stress. And now they're giving the stress to their pets as they leave and go. They were with their pets 24/7 for a year, 2 years. Now they're leaving their pets, going back to the offices. The pets are stressed out. So now they got to get something to help the pets with their stress.
So yeah, in addition to the supplements, that's really the other thing that I've been noticing is all of the kind of comfort tools, whether it's a little stuffed animal that has a heartbeat that you can put next to your pet when you leave for the day, something that warms during the day so that they feel like there's another live being in the house. So yeah, that is definitely another trend.
Yeah, and there was one retailer I spoke with last year at our pet session where he mentioned that the way we get sports jerseys and everything. So now you have the pets getting the sports jerseys and, and then the other thing is people are getting other pets for their pets. So, for me, last year I was looking, I don't have any pets, but I was a dog owner in the past, love pets. And I asked my nephew who works at a animal hospital to keep an eye out for a pair of sibling mellow cats. Because I would, dogs, in case I start traveling again, dogs are a little bit more of a hassle to leave alone. Cats, you could leave for a day or two as long as you have the feeders and everything. But I'd want two so that they can keep each other company and don't tear up things or don't, bother me as much. But they still haven't gotten any. I mean, it's just, it's really, really hard to find pets nowadays. It maybe it lightened up a little bit because people are getting out and they're not adopting as fast as they were back then, but who knows? So with all of this stuff happening, all of these new pet owners, are you seeing a lot of product innovations in the category?
Yeah, kind of again going back to the humanization factor. It's also people, I think, looking for simplicity, and so different delivery vehicles of those products. So fish oil in a gel that's easier to add to your pet's food, or turmeric in a powder that you can easily mix in. And then certainly the look and feel of the product. So you look at a can of pet food now, whether it's cat or dog, and it would be hard to determine if that was a person's food or your pet's food.
Yep.
You know, steaks like cut in strips rather than just ground up. So those kinds of innovations, and I know some of them have been around for a little while. Think just the prevalence of it, and it just keeps elevating and elevating to really improve that ease of use, as well as I think, make us feel better about what we are putting in our pet.
Yep. I've seen pet cookies and cakes.
Oh,
and
yes.
The cookies look so delicious that I actually tried one. Of course, you have to. The only thing is it's bland. It's
no
for
sugar.
us, it's bland. For them, it's amazing. So, but I've also seen some pet snacks that were packaged like human snacks. And so
Yes.
when they crinkle the bag and the pet gets used to it, as soon as they hear the bag crinkle, boom, they're out and they're going nuts. So so it's
True.
cool to see how much they are mimicking human products. So what about, I'm sorry, you're going to say something?
Yeah, just we have our customer service, client services coordinator here is very involved in golden retriever rescues. And so we get to see a lot of product innovation through her. And she brings her pets to work on a regular basis. So we also get the comfort of having the dogs here, which is great. But she last week did have some of the cookies like you were talking about, and she had to make sure that everyone she was handing them out to realized they were for their pets and not for themselves.
Yep.
So definitely a trend.
Yeah, and you're seeing a lot of these product innovations on social media. If you go, there's a hashtag pets of Instagram. It's like million, I think 45, if not more, 45 million posts on there. And another thing that people have done during the pandemic is created Instagram pages, TikTok pages for their pets. And you're seeing all of these cool products. In fact, a lot of buyers are turning to TikTok and Instagram to find new product ideas and to see what's kind of trending and what's hot, because pets and babies are like the most Instagrammable things. And whenever you get a new pet toy, you just can't wait to put it on there and show everybody. So it's just it's a good way that I know buyers have really they're looking for what's hot and finding out, and then that gives them a little guide on what to look for when they're meeting with suppliers.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. And I think also as pet owners, again, similar to trends that have been happening on the human side of things for a while, we want to rely on recommendations of people that we think are like us. And so those on Instagram, that's far more, I think, weighted more heavily than it ever has been in the past. And I think that really leads to some of the subcategories within pet that are trending more on the online sales, because if I find it through Instagram, I may not know where to buy that locally, but I'm going to continue my search online then and find that product and purchase it. So I think that has a lot to do with why we're seeing treatments being such a fast growing online segment.
Gotcha. Yeah, that whole path to purchase now, it starts in so many different places. And if it's, you stumble across something on Instagram or on TikTok, more than likely you're gonna continue using your phone to search for it. And then if you find it, you could just click and get it right there.
Yep, absolutely.
So is that one of the main trends that you're seeing in the pet market?
Yeah, certainly as the number of pets has increased, it also sounds like very similar to what you said earlier, that if you had one pet and now you're going back into the office, you're getting a second pet to keep the first pet company.
Mhm.
So even those households that have had pets for a while, they're increasing their sales overall because they're adding the number of pets that they have. But then it does appear like those sales of treatments are just really taking off online.
Mhm.
The rest of the pet categories are still kind of a nice 2/3, 1/3, 2/3 in store, 1/3 online. So that seems to be kind of a constant, but those treatments are just taking off
Yeah,
online.
and it's probably the nature of the way they look for them, right? Because the first
Mhm.
thing they're going to do if they need a treatment for something that's ailing their pet is they're going to search online, find out
Right.
what the deal is, and then take it from there. And that may lead them to a pet retailer, and boom,
Mhm.
there you go. So, um,
Right.
what is important for retailers and manufacturers to understand or to know as omni-channel expands, right? Because there's so many places where you can buy now, whether it's
Mhm.
online, direct to consumer, retail websites, click and click and collect.
Right.
So what's important for them to know as far as that?
I think consistency is really the key. And so making sure that if, as a supplier, you want to make sure that your online presence is as good as the in-person, in-store presence of your product. And you can control how your product looks when somebody picks it up off the shelf, but we need to figure out how to help suppliers control how that product looks online. And I think um, again, going back to, we care so much more about what is going into our pets.
Mhm.
I think in addition to just a good visual representation of what does the packaging look like, those package details are becoming more and more important
Mhm.
online. Again, to mirror, if I walk into a store, I can turn the can or the container or the treatment product around and see what you've put into it. I want to make sure that suppliers have that ability to get that same information out to consumers online. And I think that's going to become more and more important as those retail sales online increase.
Yep, and content is critical when it comes to online because you don't have a store associate there to answer any questions or anything. So you need to have good, strong content that kind of anticipates any questions that they may ask or extra information that they're going to be looking for, whether it's about a particular need or an ailment or something, or just how a product works, because they're getting so specific and so detailed. It's you want, and online is where you can have all of that information. So what I'd be interested in seeing, and I don't have the answer to this yet. I don't think anybody does, but you see all of these immediate delivery services that are going
Right.
on, right? The 30 minutes or less, 15 minutes or less. We have a bunch of them here in New York. You have Gorillas, you have there's a few others. I wonder how many people requesting pet products with that mix.
That's a
I don't know.
very
I don't know
interesting
the answer, but
question.
I'm
Yeah.
wondering if it's following where, the whole humanization thing. I'm sure there's probably some emergency products that people want for that, an emergency snack or something. So that's
An
something we'll have to
emergency
check.
outfit.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You never know. It's a last minute party. Bring in your pets. You gotta outfit them. So, but
Right.
I'll have to look into that, and we can do a follow up on
Yeah, I'd love to know if you learn anything about that. That's great.
it. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. What's the best way for people to get in touch with you or find out more?
Definitely go to our website, hamacher.com, and you can always reach out directly to me through LinkedIn as well. And I would love to hear from people if they have further questions.
Perfect. And just to let everybody know, Hamaker is doing a live presentation as well during our pet session. So keep an eye out for that. It'll be on your schedules. So Dawn, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Joe. It was fun.
Take care.